Today on the Travel Insider, we'll talk about how the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is seeking its place on the global tourism map. Also, how this year's Fitur travel trade fair ended with great expectations for the state of Quintana Roo. And finally, also at Fitur, a Mexican indigenous tourism project received an international award. Let's go to the information. Saudi Arabia is stepping up diversification efforts to wean itself off its crude oil dependence. But the conservative country, notorious for sex segregation and its austere dress code, is seen as an unlikely destination for global tourists aside from Muslim pilgrims visiting holy sites in Mecca and Medina. Now, in the midst of historic social change, the kingdom is seeking a place on the global tourism map by promoting sites such as the Al Waba crater, widely unheard of even within Saudi Arabia. Tourism is one of the centerpieces of Vision 2030, the blueprint to prepare the biggest Arabian economy for the post-oil era, which was conceived by powerful Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. In August, the kingdom announced a multi-million-dollar project to turn 50 islands and other pristine sites on the Red Sea into luxury resorts. It also plans to develop historical sites such as the centuries-old Madain Saleh, home to sandstone tombs of the same civilization which built the Jordanian city of Petra. The kingdom aims to nearly double the annual number of tourists it attracts to 30 million by 2030. With the sector projected to become one of its top revenue earners. Tourism chief Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz told last month that preparations were afoot to launch electronic visas in the first quarter of 2018 to all nationals whose countries allow their citizens to visit the Gulf state. In an effort to change perceptions, Saudi Arabia has relaxed some of its most rigid rules, lifting a cinema ban, allowing mixed-gender sporting events, and announcing that women will be allowed to drive starting from next June. But experts say that its absolute ban on alcohol still makes it a hard sell for many global tourists. In spite of this, global travel agencies such as Britain's Steps Travel are already planning to offer package tours because they think there's a lot of potential for Saudi tourism. In other news, Fitur, the first and one of the most important tourism fairs of this year, ended last weekend, and the delegation of Quintana Roo achieved important advances for its destinations, mainly in the area of connectivity. State Governor Carlos Joaquin Gonzalez said that through participation in this event, it was possible to specify that from 2019, Air Europa will offer the first flight of the first-class airline on the Cancun-Madrid route. In addition, Air France announced that during the first months of the year, it will increase its frequencies between Paris and the Mexican Caribbean, which will be additional to the 5 they already have. Another airline that intends to expand its services is British Airways, with more routes between London and Cancun, while Russian airline Rossini agreed to open connections with Moscow and St. Petersburg. The new routes will increase thanks to the signing of a bilateral air agreement between Mexico and the European Union. This will give rise to an increase in the number of transnational flights, not only to Quintana Roo, but also to other national destinations. Also, the leader of hoteliers said that during Fitur, the corporate Hipotels, based in Palma de Mallorca, will open a new hotel of 1,500 rooms in Cancun, which will be called Heaven's Resort and Spa. Quintana Roo's Secretary of Tourism, Marisol Vanegas, described Quintana Roo's participation in Fitur as successful, where the Mexican Caribbean had a remarkable presence. And finally, another standout achievement at Fitur was the project named Paraísos Indígenas, or Indigenous Paradises, which received the award for Best Tourism Product in the international category. The award is presented every year by the International Tourism Fair of Madrid and the monthly magazine of rural tourism, Aire Libre. This project is a concept that gathers diverse destinations of Mexico which are considered to have a great natural and cultural beauty and are protected by communities organized in a system of so-called uses and customs, a place that preserves and protects all the traditional characteristics of an ethnic group. For his part, the Federal Secretary of Tourism, Enrique de la Madrid, said that Mexico is working to expand its tourism offer to other regions of the world, especially Europe. Likewise, he highlighted a growth of 97% in the arrival of tourists from South America and 30% of tourists from Europe. As for the travel safety alerts issued by the US government, de la Madrid said that Mexico is much better positioned since it's been classified as Level 2, like many other destinations, including Spain. In addition, he noted that no tourist destination in Mexico has the warning of "Do not travel" issued by the US administration. That was all for today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media and leave us a comment to let us know what you think.